Hi guys, welcome to the Saving Money Show with me, your host Sean. If you find any of today's entertainment helpful, don't forget to smash that lovely like button. Helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting the video out to more people. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell notification. You'll be notified when the video gets uploaded. If you're looking for a free trading platform on which to trade, don't forget to check out the links in the description below. Now on with the show. We're going to talk Nikola, ticker symbol Nkla, formerly VTIQ, and the recent rise. Now, the recent rise is due to a massive amount of options going in, people seeing the options going in, having FOMO and jumping in. So now it's gone from, before it floated, the CEO of VTIQ and Nikola claiming the business is worth $3 billion on the back of pre-orders, and don't forget that on the back of people just signing up and putting their details on. You know, they could even have had their family members doing it to bump up the numbers. But more realistically, Tesla had 2,000 pre-orders for the Semi. I think it's more likely that the people who paid $25,000 for Tesla pre-orders got contacted by this guy and said, look, it's not going to cost you any money to sign up. Why not sign up? If Tesla produces them beforehand, then you can cancel them. And so anyway, on the back of those pre-orders, which you didn't have to pay anything to deposit, you didn't have to pay a deposit to a pre-order, which no car company or trucking company has ever done before. It's crazy. Not even Boeing do that, even with a situation, even with when they had the 737 problem, they still didn't do that. Now, on the basis of all those pre-orders, they valued it at $3 billion. The rise in price at point of merger valued it at $10 billion. The current rise in price, because out of hours it's valued at 90, not 73. So the current price values it at 30 billion. So now the guy who hyped the stock, who was CEO of VTIQ, is now a multi-billionaire on the back of this, and they haven't even made a single thing. Now, this is the reason why I think it's going to be a pump and dump stock, and usually pump and dump stocks aren't allowed on Nasdaq. They're confined to a smaller one, because firstly, to allow the merger to go through, and this is why the merger was delayed by a week, the board was told they couldn't sell the shares for 180 days. So 180 days after the date of the merger, the board are likely to flood the market with, I'm not saying all of the shares, but some of the shares. The institutional investors have a cooling off period, and we remember with Facebook there was a cooling off period, and there was an uproar at the time that the board members were allowed to sell before institutional investors, and institutional investors were allowed to sell before other people involved in the IPO. I bet they're not complaining now if they held on to them, and that was all to protect the share price. Now, I have also spoke about the fact that the VTIQ, the amount they paid was only for 22% of Nikola. This Nikola corporation that is floated is only 22%. The rest of it is owned by the board members. They could easily float more if they wanted to. And again, that's going to affect your share price. And I've spoken already about the warrants. There will be 28.5 million. Sorry, I'm moving around. I'm trying to multitask. 28.5 million warrants were sold pre-merger at $11 each to other investors, where they would be given shares at a later date, i.e. between 2022 and 2024. So that will dilute your shares. Now, you also have 10, and what they're likely to do if they were giving them at $11 each, at this price, they're likely to sell, or at least sell a percentage of them to protect their investment, and then everything else is profit. I mentioned the institutional investors. Now, you saw with ARK Invest, who pumped up Tesla and then sold a large percentage of its share. So these institutional investors are likely to sell at least 50% of their share, and that's 52.5 million shares hitting the market as well. All these are going to affect your share price. Now, that's one aspect of it. One aspect why I would sell. The second aspect is they haven't made it anything. Now, when it went to $30 billion, when it went from $3 billion to $10 billion, they were valuing it at 3 times the 2024 valuation. You know, now they're valuing it 10 times 2024 valuation. And I said then, even Tesla isn't 3 times its 2024. Not 2024 valuation. Forgive me. Sorry. They were at 3 times the 2024 expected earnings. That's if everyone picks up the semis that have registered for it. Whereas, and they have also now got to 10 times that. Now, I'm sorry, but it's just no way they could do that. Even Square, where experts say they can 10x their money, they are not at that. Because so many things could happen. As I said, we remember a genius like Elon Musk, and I'm kicking myself for not getting into Tesla early. But he had so many issues, and I know he was the first one, but he had so many issues. He was sleeping on the floor of Tesla. Tesla was 4 weeks away from being bankrupt, and he had a lot of money behind him and a lot of wiggle room. Now, these guys don't. Now, these are Nikola's numbers, not my numbers, their numbers that I'm using. By their own admission, things go wrong when setting, and the hardest thing to do is set up a plant. They haven't done that yet. They haven't set up a plant. Now they're expecting the companies that buy the trucks to pay for the hydrogen chargers. No one's bought a truck yet. And why would someone buy a truck if there's no chargers to charge them? When I bought an electric vehicle in here, I was deciding whether in UK deciding whether to go Tesla or Nissan. Everyone was going Nissan because there was no Tesla superchargers. Tesla had to invest heavily in superchargers in the UK, and there's still not enough superchargers. But as a result, Tesla has seen a bit of an uptrend in Tesla sales, but still not enough. But by Nikola's own admission, they have $12 million wiggle room. If things don't go perfectly to plan, they have a 1% room of error. They'll burn through $12 million in no time. Tesla burns through more than that. Burns through more than 1%. Needs more than 1% room of error. Now, but Tesla, when it burns through that, it gets something back in return. The other reason I would run from the stock and take my profit is the guy who hyped the stock is no longer CEO. So, if everything I said happens, all the shares flood the market, more shares, it goes down to a penny stock, it goes bankrupt, and SEC comes after the CEO. As I said, the guy who hyped the stock is no longer CEO. They have a new CEO. He says, well, I've only just come on board. You've got to go after the old CEO. The old CEO says, I was CEO of VTIQ, not Nikola. You know, what are you coming after me for? You know, it's a typical switch and evade. I think it's too much for a company that hasn't made anything. And as I said before, Elon Musk had a track record. And not just with PayPal, he had a number of companies that he had made money with and made successful. And this isn't bigging up Elon Musk or Tesla. To tell the truth, what Tesla has done is created a roadmap for these guys. But even Elon Musk has said making hydrogen vehicles is very difficult. I wouldn't attempt it. If he wouldn't attempt it, why are these guys attempting it? At the moment, the only vehicles they have drawings of vehicles. The only vehicles they have are made out of clay. They have one vehicle they've made which they use for their version of Battery Day. And then they have the gall to criticise Elon Musk. Now, they claim they created being able to charge one vehicle from another. They got their jet ski and charged it from. They got a jet ski and charged it from their version of electric semi, right? But DC converters are not new. You know, you have Tesla had it for years. Neo, you had Toyota. You've had these things out on the market for a long time, and they are suing Tesla for stealing their patents. Now, don't know if you remember, Tesla was criticised by some shareholders, like institutional shareholders, for putting their designs online for their semi a few years back, saying anyone could steal them. And Tesla's response was, good, we need more people in this space. And now this guy, it looks like he's taken them. I'm not saying he has. It looks like he's taken them, and then he's suing Tesla. And then he has the gall to say Tesla approached one of our engineers to go and work with him. I'm thinking, hang on, we didn't approach Tesla to have Tesla's engineers to come and work with us. No offence, you've got a start-up and you've got Tesla. Nah, which one would you go to? One that's a stable company, that's doing great things, and one that's a start-up. Don't get me wrong, it can do great things. And I understand the allure of working for a start-up if you're going to be made like chief engineer, or you're going to be made like head of, like a big fish in a small pond, and you think that that's going to go somewhere. But when you're not doing anything, then I think some of these claims are just laughable. Now, me, I've got out of VTIQ, tickets, now Nkla. I suggest anyone else to do their research, and once they've done their research and not just listen to a few people on YouTube, a few idiots like me, then they may come to the right decision. But the reason it's gone up is they put options on the first day at a penny. Basically, you could buy options for stocks at a penny, and so you could buy the options and straight away sell them, and you could and within a couple of days you could buy 1,000 options at a penny each and make $47,000. So all these options traders were scooping them up, and then the price was going up because they were scooping them up. And then people were seeing these options traders scooping them up. News was coming out about them scooping them up, and the options prices were going up, and people were buying the shares in the company thinking, oh, these guys know something. Do your own research, please. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.